Ready? Set? Adventure! Welcome to Hikanuki World Tour and our boat ride to the rainy Isle of Capri. We'll take a scenic boat ride from Sorrento to Capri. We'll have lunch at Bagni Tiberio. Then spend 2 hours on the island soaking it all in. And back in Sorrento, we'll enjoy our final meal in Italy. 'Twas goodbye on the Isle of Capri. We grabbed a quick breakfast at the hotel. Today we're heading for the Isle of Capri. Our van picked us up at the hotel and took us to the harbor. We'll take a boat tour around the island and then have time to explore the island. Weather permitting, we may even stop at the Blue Grotto. The Blue Grotto is a natural sea cave. On bright sunny days, it's flooded with blue light. But the entrance is narrow and short. You have to enter via rowboats, and if seas are too rough, you won't be able to enter. If it is open, we may have to wait up to an hour to get in, so I'm a little pessimistic about stopping there. We're leaving from Marina Grande, which is a bit of a misnomer as it's smaller than Marina Piccolo, Sorrento's larger harbor. This is Sorrento's historic fishing harbor. There's 8 of us, so we're gonna need a bigger boat. Up the steps you'll find the Church of Santa Anna. And here comes our bigger boat. Our captains are Giovanni and Giuseppe, and the tour company was Capitano Ago. Our tour is scheduled for about 7 hours and was organized by our tour operator. We wave goodbye as we head out to sea. Part of the plan is to see the Blue Grotto, but I'm not sure the weather will hold out. Marina Grande looks very charming and quaint. And now the boat was ready to sail. While visiting the Amalfi Coast, it's great to get out on the water. You'll get a whole new perspective of the sights. Before we knew it, our destination was in sight.
Capri! Capri!
Our boat kept chugging along toward the island. Our captain pointed out points of interest along the way. He also warned us that we probably wouldn't be making it to the Blue Grotto today. Winds were picking up and the seas were getting more rough. Conditions have to be perfect to navigate through this small cave opening. But we did have unlimited beer, soft drinks, and Prosecco, so we'll just make the best of it.
Look at that. Prosecco time.
I will admit it was a bit difficult to balance a drink while bouncing along the waves. They probably know that better than we do. We forged ahead, even as the weather deteriorated. On our way, we saw many examples of dramatic sea cliffs. Within one of those was the house of a former Roman emperor.
The house of the Roman Emperor Tiberio.
Oh, really?
You wanted to stay on that guy's good side. He had a bad habit of throwing people off the cliff. There were also a number of well-known sea grottos along the way. The first grotto we approached was the White Grotto, or Grotta Bianca. It's characterized by its white limestone formations that glow in the sunlight. Unfortunately, there was no glowing today. Here's some other intrepid travelers heading for the grotto. While not as popular as the Blue Grotto, it's a popular sight on sunnier days. Now our guide is pointing out the natural arch. We also see the residence of Tuscan writer Curzio Malaparte. And then rising up out of the sea, Capri's 3 iconic sea stacks. These are the Faraglioni of Capri and were used as ancient navigation aids. The limestone stacks were carved from millions of years of erosion. Let's navigate between them and get a closer look. Local legend has it that these rocks were once inhabited by sirens. The mythical creatures would lure sailors in with their enticing songs, only for the sailors to crash into the rocks and perish. Rather grim, I'd say. But for us, our captain skillfully navigated through the rocks, and we are safe. On a more calm day, our next stop would be the Green Grotto. We approached to get a better look. This is a lesser-known grotto but known for its sparkly emerald waters. Looks like the seagulls found a feast. And our next point of interest is the Punta Carina Lighthouse. This still active lighthouse was built in 1866. It is the second tallest in Italy. Near the lighthouse, there are 3 forts to see. There's a pathway that passes them, which can be accessed from the town of Isle of Capri. On the cliffside is the exclusive Il Riccio restaurant, along with the 5-star hotel. Look closely and you'll see an elephant and giraffe. And now we're approaching the most famous and most visited grotto, the Blue Grotto. As expected, it's closed today due to rough seas. Our guides for today have arranged for us to have lunch. We'll be accessing the restaurant by using a tender. Not exactly the same type tender we're used to from cruise ships. We boarded the boat for our quick trip over to the restaurant. Our boat captains took us to Bagni Tiberio. There's also a beach club here, but not too popular on a day like today. You can see on the map where this restaurant was located. It was a unique and interesting place. However, since our time in Capri was limited, I think we would have preferred to go to the main city center. Staff was friendly, food was good, but the experience was more leisurely than we were looking for, especially as the weather continued to get worse. They specialize in fresh seafood.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Crawfish labas and linguine pastas.
The restaurant is located where one of Emperor Tiberio's villas once stood. Among the rocks, you can see remains of the villa, Palazzo Amare. In addition to seafood, they had many Italian specialties. We were anxious to move on, so we just shared a few dishes. Salads were fresh and the gnocchi tasted homemade. And it paired well with an ice-cold Moretti. If you're staying in town, you can take a shuttle boat to get here. I'm sure the beach club is a nice place to spend the day when the weather is more cooperative. Now it's time to hurry back onto the boat. If we're lucky, we might beat the raindrops. But it doesn't look too promising. Because of the weather, our departure time was moved up and we only had about 90 minutes to spend. This meant we really wouldn't have much time for exploration. As soon as we got off the boat, the skies opened up. So we did the only logical thing. We sought shelter, ordered a few beers, and did a lot of people watching. Although disappointing, it was a memorable experience and one that others visiting the sunny Isle of Capri probably won't have. So let's sit back and watch how others dodge the raindrops. This is a reminder why you should always have a second pair of shoes on vacation. Our original plan was to take the funicular to the heart of the town, but instead, we spent our time at the Marina Grande. It wasn't a total loss, as there are some restaurants and shops to see here. When traveling, you can never count on the weather, so you just have to make the best of it. Plus, this provides a good excuse to come back in the future. And we got a little more use out of our lemon poncho. The rain let up a little, so we were able to pick up a few souvenirs, one of which was an umbrella. There's always time to dip a toe in the Tyrrhenian Sea. And at least we didn't have to row back to Sorrento. Of course, as we were getting ready to leave, it looked like the skies were starting to clear. So at least we'll have a relatively dry ride back to Sorrento. Just as promised, the boat returned for us. It was not exactly the day we envisioned when planning this trip, but our boat ride around the island was a highlight with its beautiful scenery, and the crew made the experience more fun. Back on board, it was time to relax and enjoy a Peroni. Thanks, Giuseppe and Giovanni. and no cruise would be complete without sailing back into Sorrento's harbor was a beautiful sight. Truly a picturesque Italian harbor.
Thank you very much. It was a wonderful trip, and we had a great time. You were awesome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Enjoy
meet
your
you.
holiday.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
I hope he gets the perfect catch. The van was waiting for us to take us back to the hotel, but we would have liked to have spent more time here. You feel transported back in time in a tiny fishing village. Restaurants and shops dot the waterfront, and the improvement in the weather made it a great place to be. But we're on an arranged tour, so our next stop is back in Sorrento at our hotel. Sadly, this is our last night in Italy. It's been a wonderful 2 weeks, starting in the Tuscan wine country and ending here in Sorrento and the Amalfi Coast. This little guy is sad to see us go. We arrived back in Sorrento at about 5:15. The streets were starting to be busy again after the rain. We picked up some last-minute items and made our way to our new favorite Irish bar. Chaplin's is a popular place. Let's take a look and see who else has been here. There's plenty of seating inside at the bar, in the back room, or even outside on the patio. As darkness falls, we're heading back toward our hotel for our final meal in Italy, on this trip anyway. The Basilica was just around the corner from our hotel, the Palazzo Guardati. Check out our hotel review linked below. One thing we've learned about pizzerias in Italy is they serve much more than pizza. And who doesn't enjoy live music with their meal? We started the meal with bread and, of course, a glass of red wine. It was from the Campania region, which is where Sorrento is located. We shared a couple of appetizers, the zucchini flower stuffed with ricotta and basil, and the eggplant parmesan, and then the entrees. The ravioli caprese style with tomatoes and cheese, a delicious homemade lasagna, tasted just like Nona's, cacio e pepe with pancetta, and a variety of pizzas to share. This was a great final meal in Italy. Tomorrow, we're heading for Munich, where beer and schnitzel await at Oktoberfest.
Good morning. Time to head to the airport.
We were up bright and early to head to the Naples airport. Our driver called and asked if we could be ready a half hour early due to heavy traffic. We thoroughly enjoyed our time in Italy, and we're a little sad to say arrivederci. But we're excited that our trip isn't quite over. We have 3 nights with the group in Munich. We headed inside the terminal to determine what desk we needed to go to check our luggage. The Naples airport was a very busy place. We spotted a McDonald's and always like to do a cheeseburger taste test when traveling internationally. This one was good with melty cheese, but Barcelona is still the winner. They had spicy shaker fries, which we did enjoy. We're here on a Thursday morning and it's quite chaotic. There was not nearly enough seating for all the people that were there. Finally, it was time to board and we marched out onto the tarmac. We did find it interesting that they used both the front and back entrances to load. We're leaving Naples at 1 o'clock and expect to arrive in Munich at 3. We hope you'll meet us there. Thanks for joining us at Hikanuki World Tour as we spent a rainy day on the Isle of Capri. Our travel wisdom for the day comes from none other than the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra, and his timeless quote, "She wore a lovely meatball on her finger." Be sure to subscribe to Hikanuki World Tour. If you liked the video, click that like button, and we'd love it if you'd leave us a comment. Hit that notification button so you'll know when our next video is dropped. And follow us on Instagram. We really appreciate your support. Get ready, get set for our next adventure.